Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel where we're talking all things real estate, from land wholesaling to private lending to ground up development. Been gone for a while. Just wanted to get back. Here we are, December 20th, y'all. The end of the year is almost here. I just kind of want to set a game plan, let you know how I go about planning out my year, and hopefully this can help you sit down and plan out yours if you're trying to get into land wholesaling in 2025. Maybe if you're transitioning from doing fix and flips on the real estate end and you're wanting to get into new construction, how to navigate, right? Interviewing GCs, interviewing lenders for different options like that, and what exactly do you need in order to get that done? So let's just jump right into it. Okay, so here we go. Uh, this is pretty much an overview of what I plan to accomplish next year. If you're trying to get into this business, maybe like here's point where you need to start at to learn. And then once you kind of get the hang of, you're maybe closing some deals consistently, one to two a month or something like that. You're going to be building relationships with these builders. Then you may be wanting to start going into doing new construction projects, right? Not essentially selling the land off, but maybe partnering with family members, friends, co-workers, however you want to go about raising the money in order to go out and complete these deals. So if we start at one, which you're looking at land wholesaling plus relationships with builders, which I just went over, you want to first pick a market. Okay. And for you to pick a market, just get on Regrid. It's a website. I'll go ahead and show you the website. If you are somebody in a market where you don't know where to start, I would hop on Facebook, get in some groups, host if you're in Memphis, Tennessee, Memphis wholesaling or Memphis real estate, Memphis ground up development, type that kind of stuff in. Talk to some realtors in the area to see if there's a lot of new construction where in the markets the new construction is going on. This website is free. So you can literally get on Regrid, and you can pick a zip code that I know Houston like the back of my hand. Starting out, I would definitely utilize using Regrid if you want to build your list yourself, as opposed to going to PropStream, PropWire, different sites like that and paying for the list. You can always build it out yourself. You can get on Zillow, Redfin to see where the construction is in any zip code, and then you can go right back to Regrid and kind of put two and two together to see, okay, this is the pocket. So let me go ahead on Regrid and start finding some vacant lots, right? So that's something that I utilize. I pretty much put all my lists together. I don't really buy them anymore. I used to starting out. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. If you're trying to kind of get going and you don't really have time to do that, then cool. Go ahead and just pick a market, pick maybe two zip codes, three zip codes, and pull like 100 leads from each zip code and get on the phone and get to calling. If whatever how many call dials you make, that's going to determine how many deals you get closed. So you need to know maybe making 25, 50, 75 dials a day. Maybe you're talking to, out of those 75 dials, you're maybe having a conversation with 20 people. Out of the 20 people, five are interested in selling and maybe two accept an offer, right? So if you think about that's on a per week basis. If you're sending out five contracts a week and you're getting accepted two, that's pretty much eight deals that you have potentially a month, right? It's a numbers game. That's how you kind of got to think about it. And it's not really just always calling new potential sellers. You have to have a CRM system that you're using to know, who do I need to follow up with, right? And you always want to get on the phone. A text message is cool. The ringless voicemail, all that's fine and dandy, but you want to get on the phone and talk to these people. If you can, get in front of them, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to think about it. You're randomly calling somebody, telling them that I can buy your land, and then expecting them to just say, "Oh yeah, cool, send it over to me." They don't know you from a can of paint. So it's this is still sales, guys. You see what I'm saying? Like it's still sales, no matter how you slice it up. You have to get these people comfortable. Talk to them, like let them know that you're locally in the market, right? You know what I'm saying? You want to get comfortable with them. Maybe ask them, hey, are you free sometime today? I'd love to come out, meet you in person. We can either meet at the lot if you like, or we can go to a coffee shop, or I can just come to your house. Them showing like, oh, he or she's willing to meet me in person. That like people think about that versus you're calling, I got this offer. I can email it over to you. We can get it closed. That may work sometime, but don't try to build your business off of that. You have a higher chance of getting somebody to sign something same day versus you know what I'm saying, like you just calling trying to shoot offers over the phone. I lost a deal 2 weeks ago. There was a deal in Acres Home that right in this market that I kind of let the seller was interested. Instead of me kind of pushing on meeting in person, meeting in person, meeting in person, I kind of took a step back a little bit, and which I shouldn't have done. Once they said they were interested, the offer that I gave out, that it was something that it's like we'll entertain, and I didn't do anything from there. I didn't follow up the way I needed to. I didn't try to get in person. So if you are local and you're doing business locally in your market, try to get these people in person. Just trust me on that. Try to, if they are willing to meet you in person, meet them in person. If you aren't going to meet them in person, when you send over the agreement, the sale agreement, tell them we can go over it together, either over the phone or video call. Which works best for you? And the more you do this, the more comfortable you're going to get talking to these sellers, following up with these sellers. So like that's the number one thing. When you're starting land wholesaling, you want to start out creating good habits. You don't want to just call, leave a bunch of voicemails, and try to text your way to making money. If you call 50 people Monday and only half of them answered, then you need to follow up with the half that didn't answer the next day on top of making more outbound calls. Your the keys is the follow up. Even the people who aren't interested, who say no, it's not for sale, not right now. You need to follow up with them people in 2 months. Okay, I'm gonna put them on the list in 2 months. Right? That's how you build your pipeline out. That's how you're going to do that. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about, let's just go ahead and go back to it. The relationships with the builders and why this is important if you're trying to scale and go from wholesaling land to building, or maybe doing fix and flips to building. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to get a loan from a lender if you don't have the experience. Typically, lenders are going to look for competence, which is going to be the experience, your credit, your capital. Those are going to be in the feasibility of the project. But if you have a 540 credit score, you're not going to be able to get a construction loan on your own. You would have to partner. If you don't have the 6 months reserve, 6 months reserve for their payments, plus the down payment that it costs, you're more than likely not going to be able to get a construction loan. Okay. If you don't have the experience, meaning you have not done a new construction project where you're the guarantor on the loan and you have built and sold the project, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to want to lend to you. And if they do decide, your terms are not going to be favorable. So that's why it's important to, when you're selling land to these builders, don't make it transactional. You see what I'm saying? Like when the deal's getting ready to close, call them and say, hey, can I meet you on one of your job sites? Can I take you out to lunch? I appreciate you buying my deal. I want to learn more about your business and what you're doing, where you're buying at, what's going on with the planning departments in your market. All this stuff that you can learn just by talking and asking questions to your builders. You might have a network of 7 to 10 builders who you do business with. And that's going to be your ecosystem right there. Those are going to be people that you can partner with in the future. If you find some landowners who are interested in doing a ground up development project and they don't have the experience, you can bridge the gap and bring the builder in and create some win-win scenario. Maybe a builder's looking to build their portfolio up a little bit more in exchange for a piece of equity. However, you put your capital stack together, that's going to be your business. But that's why it's important to build the relationships with the lenders. So the next thing I want to talk about is building relationships with the private lenders. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and show you pretty much what I mean by private lenders, some of the top shops, the most common that you're going to pretty much hear in the industry. So we're going to start with Kiavi. Kiavi, they're based out in California. They do a lot of construction loans, a lot of fix and flip loans, your DSCR loans, long-term loans, multifamily. I mean, pretty much the whole nine. So if you're looking to do a fix and flip, if you're looking to, here's their programs right here. I mean, their products, you got bridge loans. I have a video about that. You got your fix and flip, your DSCR, your rental portfolio, and then your new construction, right? So Kiavi is one that if you meet somebody from Kiavi, or if you reach out to them, you want to get a contact information from them, so that way you can kind of talk and see, hey, what's going on in the market? What are these rates looking like? What's all this stuff looking like? You see what I'm saying? So how I would go about doing it is you want to be talking to realtors who represent builders who are selling new construction, brand new products, right? Contacting them, maybe they can put you in contact with the builders so you can kind of see what their buy box is and build your ecosystem like that. And then lenders, right? So Kiavi, y'all write that down, type it, screenshot, whatever, but Kiavi. A second big one is Renovo. And a lot of these programs, like a lot of them are going to have the same stuff, y'all. It's just a matter of, like in terms of your interest rate, the origination points, what the loan to value is, which is LTV, loan to cost is LTC. That's all going to be dependent on your experience, your credit score, your liquidity, and then the feasibility of the project. They're going to look at all of that, right? So if you are not experienced, or if you are experienced, whatever, it's more so about the loan officer that you're working with. You see what I mean? Like there's a lot of these places, some of them require appraisals, some of them don't. Don't let that be a deal breaker while you choose a lender. Like this one doesn't require an appraisal. You should want an appraisal for your property, right? Some of them, the draw fees cost a little bit more. One might cost 125 per draw. Another one might be 250 a draw, whatever, right? That's going to be something that you consider as an investor when you're looking to reach out to these lenders, like questions that you should ask. If they do a contingency, so like if you have a budget, what's the contingency in the budget? Like, is it 10%, 15%, 20%? How long do draws take? Do they require inspections? Like, does somebody have to come out physically to the property, or can you send pictures to a portal or something like that? All these are questions that you're going to ask these lenders. What's the market looking like right now? Do we see interest rates improving a little bit? What's their DSCR product, which is their rental? Um, Create scenarios like, what about this deal is bad? Worst case scenario, this could happen. If I'm doing build to sell and my property doesn't sell in a month or two, doesn't sell in 2 months, 3 months, whatever, do I have the option to refinance into a rental loan? Would you be willing to do that? Asking these questions, consistently talking to these different lenders and stuff like that, inviting them out to events, maybe co-hosting an event together, speaking at an event, all that stuff is going to sharpen you up and get you ready to compete in the marketplace. So we have Kiavi, Renovo, and then Lima One. I mean, pretty much, like I said, y'all, the same type of loans. They have the fix and flip, they have their bridge loans, They have their new construction and their rentals. Okay. And then smaller shops are going to be like your Easy Street Capital. They're pretty solid. I have a buddy who's closed a lot of fix and flip loans with them. And some of these lenders, like they'll some of them are more geared to wanting to build their business around construction. There's another one that I'm going to go ahead and put on here too for y'all. And these guys pretty much deal with bigger projects, but so we'll go ahead and go here. Builders Capital. So you can see their loans all in one development. So what that means is if you are a developer and you have to do horizontal work, you have to entitle land, maybe build roads, tear trees down, bring out water lines, sewer lines, electricity, all that. That's called horizontal. They'll fund the horizontal, and when you're ready for the new construction, they're going to fund the new construction as well. So it's an all-in-one loan. So these guys, they're typically doing, I would say $5 million deals minimum is probably what their pipeline looks like, as opposed to maybe a company like a shop like Easy Street, who are the majority of their business is probably going to be the fix and flip stuff. So I mean, you might have $150,000, $200,000 loan on their books, which is probably not going to be as common when you dealing with these type of guys. So I would say the biggest shops was going to be your Kiavis, your Renovos, your Lima Ones, and Builders Capital. And then you have other options, like your RBI lending, iFund Cities, and then your Easy Street. So that's what I mean by building relationships with lenders. I just gave you six, well, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I just gave you seven lenders: iFund Cities, RBI, Easy Street, Builders Capital, Lima One, Renovo, and Kiavi. I just gave you seven. So you potentially have seven lenders right there that you can call, speak with a loan officer, get all the information, let them know what you're doing and where you're trying to go. You're trying to scale. I believe me, they want to build business. They want to always be getting business. So you should definitely take advantage of these. So guys, again, Kiavi, Renovo, Lima One, Builders Capital, Easy Street Capital, RBI Private Lending, and iFund Cities. So you should definitely write this stuff down. If you have any questions, just put them in the comment section. If you want to hop on the call, we can definitely do that as well. So again, this is what I want to talk about. Let's go ahead back here to the game plan. Now we're talking about partnering with experienced builders on ground up development projects. Okay. This is kind of going to be a mixture of what I talked about in the beginning. When you start closing land deals and you start to build, put some capital in your pocket, save some money, guys. Maybe have a goal to save 15 grand, 25 grand, right? I would say try to save 25,000. Talking to builders, hey, look, I have a little bit of money. I need to partner with you. I have a land deal. I'll agree to sell it to you at this price if you're willing to partner with me on a new construction loan, right? And you can negotiate 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, whatever, but that's how you're going to get experience. When the lenders are going to start pulling your track record, they're going to see, okay, if you partnered on 3 deals and they were successful, they're going to see you've done 3 deals. You could probably go out by yourself. You don't need that builder to sign on a loan with you anymore. Now you can have your own LLC, corporation, whatever, and go out and start doing these deals yourself. You can start interviewing GCs and picking who to hire. Maybe hire the GCs that you worked with in the past. That's the thing when you're doing this business, vetting and making sure that you're super organized, staying on track with budgets, timelines, just overall execution. That's how you're going to do it. You have to stay when you're doing new construction. It's not like okay, I got my GC out there, he's working. You need to be going to the property frequently. You need to be making sure that you're staying on top of project cost, right? Materials, labor, all that stuff, making sure that you're probably doing milestone payments, not giving the GC all the money or half the money up front. No, you need to be okay, payment's going to be made to you once this is done, then this is done, then this is done. You need to stay on top of that stuff. And the way you're going to learn is you want to be uh, partnering with people who have a good track record, who are getting things done on time, who are organized, and you can just ask around the industry. You can ask lenders like, who do y'all work with here? And if you're in Chattanooga, Tennessee, do y'all lend in Chattanooga? Have you done any deals lately out here? Who was the builder? You mind making an introduction? That's how you kind of have to talk and speak with these people. And you can get on social media and see. You can talk to realtors in the area, brokers. That's how you're going to network. When they tell you to go to these events and network, you have to go to these events. You have to get on the phone. You have to talk to these people with a goal and game plan in mind. You can't just wing it. Don't just go there just to take pictures and show everybody that, I'm at an event. Go there and open your mouth and talk and learn and let them know like, hey, I'm not experienced. Everybody just doesn't jump into real estate with experience. Some of the most successful builders, they started out not knowing anything. You just got to go out there and do it. And then another thing, what you can do is when you start looking at these deals, building these relationships with these lenders, you can ask builders, hey, like, who do you use for your financing? If I can get you some similar terms, or maybe some better terms, would you be willing to pay me 1% on the deal? Or would you be willing to give me, like I would say 1% as a broker point. And you handle pretty much everything that the lender is going to require. You would be the point of contact. And that's probably going to be more so for like mom and pop builders who are looking to scale from building maybe 10, 12 houses a year to 50. Your bigger companies and stuff like that, more established, they're probably going to have somebody like on their team who's in charge of sending documents and stuff like that to the lender. But maybe somebody who's, they're not brand new, but they're looking to scale and they're still manually sending documents out themselves. That way you can be that person to say, look, you can focus on acquiring deals, acquiring land, dealing with the planning department, doing all that soft cost stuff. I'm going to be the one to talk to the lenders for you. I'm going to get their rates. I'm going to get their points, their leverage. I'm going to pros and cons, closing time, what's needed, all that stuff. And then we'll relay that together and you can choose who you want to go with. I'll get the specifics of your deal. I'll be the one to send over the surveys to them. I'll be over to send the site plans to them, the settlement statements to them, your construction budget, your LLC information, your ID, all that stuff. Like you can handle that. But so now you're not only selling the land to them, now you're brokering the construction loan. So you can eat twice on one deal. So if you sell somebody some land in January of 2025, it might take them a month, month and a half to do all the soft cost stuff. And then they're ready into February, March to do the construction loan. Now here you go, boom, eating off that same deal a month later. And you can build a business around that where you're a one-stop shop. Like I sell land and I broker the loans with the builders. And be specific, builders, mom and pop builders who are looking to go from building 10 homes a year to 50 homes a year. This is something that you can streamline to make your life easier. And then the last one is something that once you start making a lot of money, you can start buying land and doing all the entitlement, the horizontal work, and selling it to the builders, right? So the project is pretty much ready. It's ready to go. You have your permits, you have your approved plans, you have your permits, or they just need to apply for permits. You can make a lot of money like that. So if you spend $100,000 on a lot and you put $15,000 into it in term for the horizontal work, and you can sell it at 150, there's still a profit there, right? So these are all options that you can utilize when you start selling land. This is pretty much the opportunity to go from here to here to here to here. when you've done a lot of development, single family residential stuff, then you can get into the commercial stuff, ground up multifamily. Start out building a 4 unit or maybe a 12 unit to building 24, 50, so on and so on. Doing shopping centers, retail spaces, stuff like that. All that stuff is an option, but you have to start. You got to start. You got to have a game plan. So, with that being said, that's all I have for you today. If you have questions, put them in the comment section. If you want to get in my land profit program, let me know via email or in the comment section. It's very hands-on stuff. I plan to be in this business for the rest of my life. I love speaking to people about this stuff. I like to help people in any way that I can. So, like I said, if you have any questions, put it in the comment section and let's start 2025 off the correct way.